And not an easy day. How
No.
hard were the conditions out there today?
Yeah, it was a bit of a disaster today, to be honest. I think, I don't know, this track is such a fantastic circuit, and I really don't fully understand when they spend millions to redo a surface of a track. I know it had been sitting around for a long time, so they probably could have just cleaned it maybe, instead of waste all the money. And now the track is it's worse than Portimao was when we had the brand new surface there, and so none of the tires, or for us at least, the tires aren't working, and you see it's like an ice rink out there, and so you don't get quite the enjoyment of the lap as you would normally get of Istanbul, and I don't see that changing.
You describe it as being like an ice rink. For those of us who are normal drivers and not used to having the reaction times of you guys, when our normal road car hits ice, it's terrifying because you're out of control. What's it like?
It's the same thing. It's just terrifying the whole way around. Just because it's almost like there's wet patches all over. So as you're on your slicks, you're accelerating, and then it goes so fast. And that's because basically you're way below the temperature window. These tires, they're so hard, and they work in a certain window. And so if you're 10 or 20 degrees below, then they're not working. If they're 20 degrees over, they're not working. So and for some reason this surface is so smooth. So there's a lot of the older circuits, they have like the surface here, for example, it's much more open between all the stones, so it works the tire more. As where this one, it's all just super closed and flat and shiny, and I guess there's oil, and the oil seeps from the tarmac, I guess, or whatever they put down. So it's the capital S.
Would harder compounded tyres have worked in terms of what Pirelli brought this weekend, or would it make no difference regarding the sort of, as
The
you
what,
said,
sorry?
would softer tyres have made any difference in terms of getting them in that operating window?
For sure, it would help, definitely. So as you go down the range, it's not great. The hard tire is useless, then the medium tire it's so, and then the soft tire is starting to be better. I think if we had the soft going down to the softest, may have been better. But I mean, it's a really difficult circuit. For like turn 8, you kill the right tire, so who knows? It would have worked a little bit better than it is, but it is what it is.
How much work have you been able to do on setup today, or has it all just been trying to catch the car, trying to get the tires into the window?
I've not changed a single thing with the car today, because it's just if the tires aren't working, then you don't really know what the balance issue is, and it's literally just tires. So but you see other people are getting them to work. You see, you can go from one lap to the other, and all of a sudden you find a second because the tires worked in a couple of corners. So you obviously see the Red Bulls are doing really well with it, and we've definitely got some work to do tonight to try and figure out what we can change. It's difficult. It will be difficult for the fans to understand, because there's fundamental things you just can't change on the car. So we just have to try and do the best job we can.
Quick one finally. If it rains on Sunday, can we race?
Hopefully, we'll probably still have the issue with the tires, even in the rain. They'll just be stone cold wet tires the whole time. So, but we'll be exciting.
So by the end of FP1, your GP2 pole lap was still quicker than you guys had gone, right? Tricky morning.
It was slippery. That's the least we can say. It's expected with the new tarmac. I suggested to the team that everyone involved in Formula 1 should get the rental car and go on track between the two sessions to get some dust out of the track. But yeah, it was slippery.
And how did the track evolve throughout the day, given that obviously the tyres that you had at your disposal today weren't exactly the softest Pirelli tyres on offer?
No, definitely. We've been struggling with the tyres. I ran the hard this afternoon, and it was about 5 seconds off the pace from Kevin on medium. So I'm not sure we're going to touch them for the rest of the weekend. And then the track, yes, got better. There's only one racing line, so that's going to make a bit the overtaking and so on quite tricky, because if you're offline, the grip level is back to what it was this morning, and I think it's about 10 to 12 seconds slower than what we're doing right now, if not more.
Yeah. Is there any way that you see this improving through tomorrow into qualifying and for the race?
Maybe the rain cleans it. I think there are high chances of rain tomorrow. Maybe that can clean the track. Maybe it can make it worse with getting the oil of the new tarmac out. I guess we find out tomorrow, but obviously more tricky it is, more opportunities there could be for a team like Haas.
This is the thing, if it rains, there's surely a risk that it wipes away all of the rubber that you've laid down, but as you say, it might also get rid of some of the oil that's coming up from the new asphalt. Is that a risk you'd want to take?
It's not a risk I can manage anyway, you know. There's a lot of things I can try to do, but stopping the rain, I think it could be a bit tricky.
Very true. As you say, though, this is the kind of opportunity that Haas could really benefit from.
Exactly. We every time it has happened, we've managed to do something. So hopefully we can do again something this weekend. That's always what we try to do. You know, it's not fantastic to see that we're running close to the end, but we try our best. And if anything happened, then we make sure that we use the experience.
George, it didn't look that much fun for anyone out there. So slippery was it? What is it like for you?
Incredible. I mean, I've never ever experienced a day like this in a race car before. I mean, it's going to be a massive window of opportunity for everybody this weekend if you get it right. I mean, in FP1 I was 15 seconds off the pace, and that wasn't, you know, that was actually true. We just couldn't get the tyres working, and I was 15 seconds off, and we got the tyres working in FP2, and the car was feeling great. Our high fuel pace was really strong, so it's a shame we're starting at the back. But like I say, I think there's a glimmer of optimism, because we know that if we get it right, there's going to be seconds between cars, so it might be interesting from the TVs, but it's going to be chaos from within.
Was it a bit of a relief when you saw the long run pace? Because obviously those engine penalties that you hinted at make it a difficult weekend for you.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you know, we've always had strong Saturdays, and we've always been on the back foot on Sunday because we've always had faster cars behind us. So I'm excited to be the one attacking now and see what we can do on Sunday. I hope the track ramps in a bit more tomorrow and gets faster and more grippy, but because, like I say, it was not fun whatsoever out there. It may have looked like fun slipping and sliding around, but I promise you from within it was just a pain in the backside. So let's see tomorrow.
So how are you feeling about the prospect of rain then? Because it's going to be even more slippery.
Yeah, well, I don't know, to be honest. I think, bizarrely, there potentially could be even more grip if it's rain as a relationship to what it would normally be like versus the dry. I mean, we're still 10 seconds off our projected lap time that we're planning to be doing. This morning in practice, I felt like if it was wet, I'd probably be quicker than the laps I was doing in the dry. Yeah, when you have new surfaces, they always react very bizarrely, and I think nobody ever has run around this track on this new surface. So
it's just so cold here, and that must have made it extra tricky for you out there today.
Yeah, it is very tricky, but more than the coldness, it's the grip. You know, yesterday when I did the track walk, just feels like marble. You know. So yeah, it's like driving on your kitchen at home. You know, it's really hard, really slippery. It is getting better, but I don't expect great things. I think, yeah, it's just it took away the excitement of the track, you know, because you hardly feel we're gonna be feeling any of the Istanbul circuit on this new generation of cars. So, but tomorrow I think, and especially Sunday, there will be plenty of opportunities. You know, getting it right, getting it wrong, it's massive around here. So I'm excited for it. I think I've learned a lot today, and I hope we go in the right direction as a team, and we are able to be competitive tomorrow.
In that tight battle for P3, you guys are at least on the timesheets quicker than Renault's. You were talking about taking your opportunities. That's going to be key this weekend.
It's going to be key, yeah. Ferrari is very strong today. I think in the long run we are able to match them, but it's still early days, and there's a lot to be analyzed, and I think we got a lot of potential in us, so hopefully tomorrow we can pick up the pace.
Were you surprised also by the speed of the AlphaTauris?
No, they've been generally strong at times. You know, we are on a very different track to Imola, where they were very strong, but they are just consistent and fast. So yeah, I think they are in the mix with us.
Danny, it looked pretty tricky for everyone out there, but in an AlphaTauri it didn't look too bad.
Yeah, we completed our program today. It felt like we completed everything we wanted to do today. many laps. Conditions are very tricky, very unusual, let's say, and but we have to work in any conditions we're given. Track does improve a little bit, but not a lot, so we still expect quite poor grip conditions tomorrow, but we will work around that and we'll do our best to make the car go quicker in these conditions.
Were you surprised at how slippery it was out there?
A little bit, yes. A little bit, yes. It was quite extreme. Yeah, at some point, like very unusual. But you know, we have what we have, and we work around it.
There's no support events here, so I guess there's not going to be much more rubber going down. Are you expecting quite an interesting qualifying and race?
Yeah, I think it can be quite interesting in the end with these conditions. Again, many things can happen. You know, it's cold. Tires is not clear how it works. Strategy is not going to be clear until the race, I think, again. And yeah, will be, you know, one of those once again where many things can happen.
Yeah, it looked pretty tricky for everyone out there today, but in an AlphaTauri it didn't look too bad.
Yeah, I think we can say that, yeah. I must say this morning was quite shocking. I enjoyed it. It was really fun, but it felt more like rallycross rather than Formula One. But yeah, it does feel different than what we used to feel in general. So that was a pretty fun way to discover this track. I think the grip came up a little bit this afternoon, and also with the softer compound, but generally a lot slower and a lot more slippery than we expected. So I think we need to revise a bit what we want to do for quali and for the race with the car, a bit with all the simulation we ran, because we expect it to be quite a lot faster than that. Yeah.
There's no obviously support events here, so the track probably isn't going to improve that much over the weekend. That could spice things up though.
I can tell you it's going to be spicy, that's for sure. No doubt about that, but yeah, we just need to make sure we do our thing properly. So, I mean, the tires is playing such a big factor, and we can see it with the gaps a lot bigger than usual. So if you manage to get the tires in the right window, you can really extract a lot more performance. I think there's quite a lot more things we need to understand. But yeah, hopefully we can make another step forward tomorrow.
I know it might be a bit tricky, but in terms of one lap and long run pace, could you get a read of where you guys are?
I haven't checked all the laps from the long run. I think so far we seem to be like in the top 10 on both sessions. In the long run I didn't really check, and I think the different teams are running different fuel loads. But yeah, in terms of feeling, the thing is that it feels so much slower than usual. That is, yeah, it just feels slow, and then after you look at the timesheet and it's not too bad. So no, I think we need a bit more time to analyze everything.
Hey Kimi, it looked pretty tricky out there. Those conditions look very slippery.
Yeah, it's far from ideal for anybody, but it's unfortunately that's where we are. I think combination of not very warm conditions, very hot tires, and new tarmac. That is, I mean, obviously some tracks they put new tarmac and it's very grippy. Then some, even in the past, it's very slippery. So I guess there's different tarmacs, but this is what it is.
Could you get a read of the car still on short run and long run pace, or is it going to?
No, not really. I mean, it depends. Some laps more laps you do, better it seems to get with the tires and everything. So yeah, I think it's the same for everybody, obviously, but yeah, it's hard to say.
We've got some potential rain tomorrow. Not many support series, so not much more rubber going down. It's going to be a tricky weekend ahead. Yeah,
for sure. I mean, it's also with the condition. Like this morning, it was a little bit wet, and it takes forever to try. So yeah, we'll see if it's wet. How usually the new surface is even more slippery and wet. So we'll see what happens.
Lando, happy birthday.
Thank
Firstly,
you.
Was it a good day, good birthday?
It was a fun day. It was drift school today. That was my birthday present, and it was my first day of drift school ever. So it was nice, tricky in a Formula One car. A lot of power, a lot of downforce, and big snaps. So most laps, you know, you're can't say that word.
Find another one.
Yeah, you're crapping yourself a bit, especially the high-speed turn 8 and so on. So It's tricky, but it was also a lot of fun. It's fun to kind of push the car and be on the limit like that all the time, but it's not so much you're on the limit, it's just trying to build tyre temperature and so on, which is the difficulty of it, to kind of get the tyres into the window, but once they're in the window, things feel a little bit better. It's just very difficult to do that in the first place. So yeah, we have to try and figure out what's the best plan for tomorrow in terms of laps put on a set of tyres versus to build the tyre temperature and not kind of take the life out of the tyre. But I'm sure everyone's going to be thinking that and how to do it. So yeah, a bit of homework to do tonight, but not a bad first day.
It sounds like whoever's able to do that the quickest and unlock that pace will kind of have a massive step. You've got a tight battle with Renault and Racing Point. Is that what's going to be key this weekend, just to get the car going quickly?
Yes, I mean there's other things in play which you need to look after too, which I'm sure everyone kind of knows about, but at the same time it's a chance when we can make a bigger impact maybe than normal. But we still have Ferrari, who are obviously a lot quicker than us, and Alfa, which are a little bit quicker. So if we can make some improvements, I think we can maybe fight Alfa a little bit more, but they were convincingly ahead throughout the whole day today. So it's not going to be easy, but we have a chance to score some good points this weekend if things go smoothly, but it's very, very tricky to do that. So we'll do our best and see what we can do.
But an unpredictable race, because it looked for no support race, no much more rubber going down.
Yeah.
It could be quite a good weekend overall, couldn't it?
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, the weather could play a big part too. It's going to be raining tomorrow, so I mean, it was slippery today, so I don't know what it's going to be like tomorrow. Maybe I'll have more grip, I don't know. But yeah, it'll be interesting. There's a lot of things which can change and so on. Easy to make mistakes, so we just need to keep our heads down and focus on ourselves and yeah, that's the best we can.